Hello and welcome to Politics Today. I'm Farrukh Patafi. We are once again going to talk about politics of Pakistan because finally it is getting very interesting. First, we saw what happened in Balochistan, how members of various parties flipped and formed their own government and their own party. Now we have seen a series of defections from southern Punjab. And of course, we are talking about the MNAs belonging to Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, the ruling party. What exactly is happening? When you look at your television screens, especially the private television screens and the pundits sitting there, the implication somehow is that the forces that we don't want PML-N government to come back to power, and that's why maybe there is last minute jockeying to pry as many people away from the party as possible. But this is the mere optics. The reality is these electables usually do it every election. Before election, the people who are certain that they are going to win realize that they are going to have some weightage in the system, and they are going to actually, they want to enhance their bargaining position. So now what we are seeing is emergence of a very important pressure group demanding creation of Southern Punjab province. That is not all. Now we are also hearing that there might be more defections. But today the people who tell you that they are defecting because somehow the system has failed, forget to mention that they have been part of the system for 4 years and something like 10 months. Only 2 months to go. They are changing either loyalty or then creating a kind of separate space for themselves to bargain. We are going to talk about this because it is quite interesting, whether it is going to be limited to Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, whether it will be extended to other political parties as well. That is one major question. Second question is, what will be the program of political parties? Although we are seeing these machinations, these comings and goings, but we haven't seen party programs so far. So what exactly is happening that nobody has thought of manifestos right now? These are very important questions. And of course, then you have many conspiracy theories in the background. I refer to one, but there are umpteen others. We will try to take stock of them if we have time later in the program too. In order to help us understand these matters, we are joined by Javed Rana, a regular on this show, a senior journalist. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Actually, more than just a senior journalist, he is a very good investigative journalist as well. So I should mention that. Thank you very much, sir. Next to him is Ghous Mohammad Khan Niazi, sir, who is Senator of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, the ruling political party. And we are going to talk to him as well to understand these matters. But before that, I'm told that we have to take a small break. The moment we come back, I'm going to introduce the third guest as well, and then we are going to resume the discussion. Take a break. Welcome back. Before going to the break, I was introducing the topic, and of course, I was introducing the guest. The third guest joined at that time, and that's why we had to take a break. We are joined by Ali Mohammad Khan Saab, who is an MNA of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, one of the leading lights of opposition, federal opposition of the country, and of course, the party that is in government in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Sir, before I go to both the politicians, if you allow me, I have to go to the journalist, resident analyst here, and ask him, what exactly does this series of defections mean in the system? Is it something new, or it is a repeat of the past, what we have seen?
I think the morality has become a punching bag.
Okay.
In the sense that these deserters, they've been referring that so many immoral things have happened with the ruling party, and that's why they are leaving the party.
The ruling party did so many
according to them, though we can debate, that is a separate debate.
You're particularly talking about the people from southern Punjab or
southern Punjab, and also I think in Balochistan, the overall picture that has developed over the period of time. And by the way, this is not confined to a particular group of deserters.
Why do you call them deserters? I mean, you can say people who have defected. Do you have to call them deserters?
Let's put it that way. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is, now they are referring about the rights of in the southern Punjab, and also we early on heard the rights of people from the Balochistan province. We've been seeing these faces with the General Pervez Musharraf, with the Q League, with the People's Party, and then the ousted Prime Minister also opted for them. It was in 2013, probably there was some sort of perception that in one way or the other, the establishment was supporting Noon League at that particular point of time. Okay. So they joined them. Okay. And the Q League, actually, most of them, I would say, the electables, they joined Noon League. Okay. Now, the public perception somehow or the other is that the establishment has turned against the ruling party. Okay. And the PTI is likely to win. Okay. So they are joining PTI.
They are not joining PTI.
They would.
The 8 defectors haven't joined PTI. They have created their pressure group that
there is a method,
maximize their leverage.
There is a method in the madness.
Okay. Whose madness, by the way?
let's leave
systems or those people.
Let's leave it to open for the debate. Now I think maybe before the election or after the election they would join the winning party. We can. It may be just conjecture, but my understanding is that the kind of the situation that is developing in Pakistan, going by pragmatic reality.
I promise that we are going to actually take stock of the conspiracy theories that are hanging around as well, but later in the program. Before I quickly go to the other participants, I have one more question. Are we expecting similar kind of defections from other parties as well? We know there has been an exodus from People's Party to PTI. But do you think that there might be some defections from within PTI's ranks as well?
That may be an isolated incident, but not as a phenomenon that we are witnessing now. Why not? Because again, the perception is very strong that the PTI is going to win. Not necessarily it is very popular, but because the establishment is supporting them. This is a perception.
Okay. And let me ask Ali Mohammad Khan Sahab, is the establishment supporting you? Come on.
Thank you so much, Farhan Khan Sahab. I would say no.
Okay. Are you supporting establishment then?
We are supporting the state of Pakistan.
Okay.
Well,
there's no such thing as the establishment of Pakistan.
There may be, but the point which I want to make is, I've been saying this yesterday on some TV channel as well, on the Urdu channel. I said this, and I would say repeat the same narrative here in English with you, that if in reality establishment is supporting Imran Khan, I have all my sympathies for such establishment.
Okay.
Because
who wouldn't? If you're part of PTI and somebody is supporting you, you'll have sympathies for them.
I will have sympathies with that establishment for the reason that they need some injection of glucose, and they need to take some power capsules, because Imran Khan has been struggling for this nation for the last 23 years. Okay. Look, Farhan Khan, the people who got support of establishment, they are called people who people know by the name of the House of Sharifs.
Not only House of Sharif. How to put
there
those
are many,
at
there are
actually-
many, there are many, but the front runners or the cheerleaders have been the House of Sharif. Why? Why I'm saying this? Because those who get the support of establishment, they get it very quickly and they come into power. They don't wait for 23, 24 years. Look, what happened with Mr. Mian Muhammad Nawaz Sharif? He got the
Now or
support.
then?
He got the support of General Jilani. He got selected, I would not say elected, he got selected as the finance minister. He became the CM, he became the PM, he became opposition leader, he again became the PM, and now he is again was the PM of Pakistan.
You missed a bit where he was exiled and he came back to the country. And before I go to the senator,
totally refuting these perceptions and these allegations. These are
Perceptions.
These are the
Perceptions
I would take
or
them as allegations.
misperceptions,
I
right?
would take them as allegations. These are the creations of the minds of the conspiracy theories and those who flourish on these theories, who flourish, who don't have anything else to say.
He has actually, practically called you a conspiracy theorist. Let me go to Senator Saab.
It's not his perception, he's just quoting somebody else's perception.
Yeah, but when it comes to perceptions, let me remind you of one very interesting thing, Ali Muhammad Khan Saab. If establishment created Mian Nawaz Sharif and if he is facing what he is facing, there is some lessons for your party in the future as well. But Senator Saab, when you look at these joinings and leavings, when you look at this exodus at the 11th hour, do you think that your party is going to be put under pressure because Mian Nawaz Sharif yesterday said that he doesn't see transparent elections taking place?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, Mr. Batafi, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to the people of Pakistan. It is my first program with you. I think you will support me. Actually, joining and leaving.
all the participants in the program.
I am saying in another sense.
What is that?
You have said that leaving and joining actually at the end of election is a usual thing. The people who have left our party, they say that we want a new province.
Okay.
My question is, if the question was of new province, they remained 4 years and 10 months in the assemblies, in Nation Assembly, and 4 months and 10 months in Provincial Assembly.
Okay.
Why they not took voice in the assemblies, even a single time? They were unable. Whether they were unable to take, whether they were supposed to do that.
Okay.
I think it's some conspiracy theory. There is somewhat pressure on that. And
who
I
is
think
exerting that pressure?
but interesting thing is,
let us, with due respect, let us remind the viewers at this moment that you are in power. You are the functional government at this moment. So when you are saying that somebody is exerting pressure, is it your government which is
Mr.
exerting pressure?
You very well know that apparently we are in the government,
Okay.
but what pressure is being put on us through all the institutions, whether it's the judiciary or other provinces, and what the respected chief justice is doing. And
Yeah,
let
us not talk about
But
that
no, I think what the
because
statements-
it becomes then very
okay,
partisan.
we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I feel that people are confused at this time. Which party will win the election? So they have decided to form an independent group,
Okay.
a pressure group. They will contest election, and when they will lead the election, they will join their ruling party.
Okay.
This is the.
So
theory
they are the
behind it.
perpetual rulers of Pakistan.
I think.
They have been in power since ever, and they are going to be in power forever.
But some person in our party, especially Mia Shahbaz Sharif, he's claimed that he will go to that MNAs or persons, and he will convince them, and they may come back to the party.
He actually spoke
And
about the new provinces as well.
Out of 6 MNAs, which was announced last day, one MNA, I don't remember his name, said I am not with them.
Okay.
Okay.
But the
let
people
us.
who were sitting there declared that they are going to resign from the parliament, and they
They
said
took
that
the name of the MNA, and that MNA afterwards said that I am not with them. I am with the party.
Okay.
So this is
So
the situation.
if they have pull, whosoever they are, you also have some counter pull, and that's why you
Exactly,
can get the
actually,
people back.
We have managed.
Okay.
Because every party has intelligence sector in this party, and our intelligence group
We don't
has
have
narrated.
Okay.
narrated
I'm going to actually look at that part
they
as well.
reported us. So many MNAs, so many MPs may leave the party.
Okay.
So
Mian Nawaz Sharif actually said that these, defectors actually didn't vote for the recent legislation as well.
exactly.
That's what they knew, or
well,
your party knew.
Article 203,
Okay.
election reforms bill. They
Yeah.
did not vote for Nawaz Sharif.
Okay. They didn't support your idea, right?
Yes.
So that was quite instructive as well. Runners up in coming days, what happens? Whatever you're saying is being construed as conspiracy theory.
I think I've been saying so many things right from the day one, and you have seen all those things happening.
Not all of them.
We can debate that because it is a purely the common sense with which we can predict what is most likely scenario building up for the future. I think there are going to be more defections from the ruling party.
Okay.
And
Can you give a hint of geography where these defectors are going to come from?
mostly, I think more people would come from the southern Punjab.
Southern Punjab.
From southern Punjab.
Okay.
We cannot obviously rule out the possibility from the central Punjab as well. And this Pothohar region is still debatable. We don't know what is going
These
to be.
rumors about Faisalabad and other places, that there are going to be people who are going to soon defect.
And I think it depends, which I think is quite predictable now. What is the most likely legal fate of the ousted prime minister? Going by the, I think.
I mean, when I requested one of our participants not to actually comment on judiciary, I'm not going to let you be the judiciary.
I'm
here.
not commenting on. There is a possibility.
No, but you're giving a verdict, right?
No. There is a possibility. There is a possibility, going by the evidence that has been produced before the court, that there is a possibility of Nawaz Sharif's conviction.
Okay.
So once that.
Are you watching television these days?
I am watching.
Are you
and
following-
I also,
are you following what is going on in the court these
I
days?
also understand the nitty-gritties of the law with respect to this particular case. And let me
The
explain if you
prime
want to go to
witness
that.
is in hot soup right now.
No,
And
he's
you're
not.
saying-
He's not hot soup. It is the propaganda by the channels. You see,
I mean,
the NAB never came up with a case that never came up with a case that this property belonged to Nawaz Sharif. The entire case is this property belongs to his two sons and daughter.
I know. We are probably going into a very
different
debate. But hang on. Let me tell you, I'm not even listening to the so-called propaganda. But some of the anchors who are really die-hard supporters of JIT, when they sit on television and claim that Mian Nawaz Sharif is casting spells, he is doing magic to distract one of the prime witnesses.
They don't have
then I
understanding
to
of the law. You see,
even the supporters of JIT.
The point is, if the supporters of the JIT, they have not gone through the evidence, if they have not gone through the law, so how can we expect them?
Okay, so your assumption is that Mian Nawaz Sharif is going to be convicted. What next? What happens next?
And I think that means more defections from the ruling party.
Okay.
You see,
Why? Shahbaz Sharif is still there.
Shahbaz Sharif actually, though he is the president of the party, but I don't think he has the power to control the party. It is still the ousted premier who is controlling the party from behind the scene. Obviously, he has got an influence. I think that is a part of the reason, maybe just a small reason, because of which these defections are taking place.
Okay.
Because early on, there was a perception that Shahbaz Sharif could be the next prime minister. I think that could have happened had there been.
It is not going to happen, you're saying?
I don't know, but his chances of becoming prime minister are relatively less as compared to 2 months back, 1 month back.
Even if the party wins? Even if the party wins?
This is a big question. I really don't know.
I want to know the prime ministerial candidate of the party. Is it not true that Shahbaz Sharif is the candidate for prime minister?
If the party wins, there is a possibility. But there are strong doubts now that the party would be able to win in this situation. Because in Pakistan, the electables have their role. And also this delimitation of the constituency. This is an open Pandora box. We don't know what is going to
An
happen.
open Pandora box doesn't pose any threat because the Pandora box, when opened, is already freed all the dangers. But before I go to Ali Mohammad Khan Sahab, and I'm just coming to you, Senator Sahab, just to clarify at this point, who is your party's prime ministerial candidate for 2018 general elections?
I think ex-Prime Minister, our party leader Nawaz Sharif has announced for Shehbaz Sharif.
Right. So that is clear, right?
That's clear. They should be clear.
That actually answers your question as well. But Ali Mohammad Khan Sahab, your party, when it ran for office, when it actually participated in the elections, used to talk about shadow governments, planning programs, and all of a sudden something happened that your party all of a sudden went to the streets, kept on protesting. We haven't heard about programs. We haven't heard about any shadow governments. Are you even prepared to be in government?
It's a question which needs a lot of pondering.
Yeah.
I think yes. The experience of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, I think that has given us a lot of insight how to govern this country. Well, it would have been better if we had made those shadow ministries and the way it is being done in UK and other parliamentary democracies in the West. But you have to appreciate that we had been in a continuous cycle of struggle against Mia Saab's government and their shenanigans and their, which we perceive to be their corrupt practices. But necessarily Senator Saab should not, he may not be agreeing with me, which he, maybe if he is also joining the bandwagon, then he will be agreeing with me.
Which bandwagon?
The guys whose morality has, it has given a 180-degree somersault.
They have all of a sudden woken up.
Yes, it's good. It's never too late in the day.
Okay.
So, well, coming back to the topic.
But
I think
let us not speculate on that level.
I think that you have to realize that Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, as of now, when I'm talking, it's not one typical political party yet.
Yeah.
It's still in that movement mode. It's still in that passing through that phase in which the party is going to achieve some goals. For a political party, it has a goal of making a government. For Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, making a government just part of that goal. Our goal is to make Pakistan a country where somebody's birthplace, somebody's occupation should not be something which should disenfranchise somebody else. We should make Pakistan an open field for everybody. Ideally speaking, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf
now you're talking
should
about
be
equitable equality. That
ideally
is good.
speaking,
And then
Farhan, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, we want to make Pakistan an open field for the middle class of Pakistan. Yes, you may counter question me that we have many electables and feudals coming into the party, but still the hardcore reality of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is Ali Muhammad, it is Murad Saeed, it is Shahryar Afridi, it is Atif Khan, it is Asad Umar, and it is many those guys from youth and ISF who are just oiling their wings for 2018, hopefully 2018 elections. Hopefully.
Yeah, that might happen, but the problem is forming a government is, of course, a goal in itself, but you have to govern, and for that you need a program. When your party said that you are a different political party, different from other political parties, at that time we didn't see that kind of, joining of electables in the party. And
we have a bit of them, but not many.
And now most of your office bearers are electables, people who have been part of another
If you can
political
recall
party.
2011, when after that famous procession of ours in Minar-e Pakistan in Lahore on 30th of October, very established people like Shah Mahmud Qureshi Saab and Javed Hashmi Saab and many other people like Kasuri Saab, they joined us. But yes, the amount of people joining now is even beyond our imaginations. People are just throwing into Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf.
That might be
we
the
have
case,
to make choices whom to get in,
mean,
to get them allowance to come into Pakistan and whom to say no.
I'm sure that must be your perception of how your party is growing. But with due respect, I'm trying to actually reach a very important point that you made earlier. You have to have a program, right? The problem at this moment is your chief minister. You were mentioning Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Your chief minister is a man who has been borrowed from another political party. He is not a person who has been in the party. Your speaker of the provincial government also borrowed. So when it comes to governing, your model is similar to the other
Whom
political
are
parties.
you referring to, Speaker? Mr.
Kaisar.
Asad Kaisar has been in the party since 1996.
Yeah, but he was part of Jamaat Islami before
Well, you
that.
can't just pick people from Mars.
Okay.
He was with the party since 1996. So in a way,
Were
you
you
can.
part of any party?
In a way, no, I was not.
Are
In
you
a
picked
way-
from the Mars?
well,
No, you are not.
Well, you don't.
are
get-
you just gave me
well,
example
well,
of yourself.
Well, you don't get Ali Muhammads every day. You don't get Murad Saids every day.
Okay.
You get people who get their, who get their starting.
So
starting
how
who
do we
get
get a program? And when do we see the manifesto of your party?
Faisal Khan, you get people,
Farooq
Farooq Khan, you get people who get, they sort of get training in a particular political party. Like I would give you the example of Javed Hashmi Saab. He started in Muslim League Nawaz. Well, he then trotted into very different paths. But you
But
have
he is
people,
back there.
He was with Jamaat Islam at one point.
Okay. At the start.
well,
he
you
was.
have people like well, you have people like
I don't care which
Pervez
party they
Khattak.
came from.
You have
I was
people
just
like
challenging
Pervez
this
Khattak, you have-
perception that somehow your party has originals. But the problem is
Pervez Khattak
programs.
has run the party in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in very difficult circumstances. We
How?
had
Difficult circumstances?
Yes, we had coalition governments, and we didn't
Now
have
that's a
absolute. We
tragedy.
didn't have absolute majority. But since you were asking me about our plans, if we have any plans or if we have any manifestos and all.
When
that
are you
sort of
going
things.
to actually introduce your
I
manifesto?
think the trailer is there in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for everybody to see. We focused on human development. We focused on common Pakistanis. We tried to build their.
I get your
we tried
program.
to-
There must be a
we-
program.
we tried to
When are
invest
we
in
going
education.
to see it in the ink on a paper?
We are giving different policies. I think every 15 days, every 20 days, we gave a policy
Yeah,
on
but
youth.
for,
We gave a
for
policy
elections, to participate in an election, you
on
have to have
foreign
a
affairs.
manifesto.
You will get them you will get them before the election. Every fortnightly, every 15 days, every 20 days, we will
Okay,
give you
one
policy
program
each.
each, right?
But we have.
One sector.
But I will give you a
sectorial.
gist of it that it will be focused mainly on education, on health, on policing, and on social structure development.
Okay.
Not necessarily on simply on the roads. Yes, road
Not-
is
not job creation.
Infrastructure
Not job
is
creation.
important, of course.
Okay.
Job creation, but merit-based job creation.
Right. Senator Niazi, since we are talking about programs, where is your party's manifesto? We are only 2 months away from, the full throttle electoral mode. And we haven't seen any programs from coming from any party yet.
You, Mr. Farooq Saab, you have done a very valid question. But one thing you should remember, when one party wins election and form the government with 2/3 majority, some forces in Pakistan, with the help of some political parties, they don't back that government, and then they try to leg pulling that party.
Sir, I would have loved that argument if earlier Ali Muhammad Khan would not have reminded me that your party was part of the same system as well in the past.
Why not?
In 1980s.
The way our party was pressurized by some forces, they blocked the whole parliament, they blocked the whole Supreme Court, and they blocked the TV, they attacked the TV. This is not way.
Yeah.
If you have some problem, then you have parliament.
Now you're talking about PTI and PAT.
Others,
They're
some other
sit-ins
parties.
here,
I
right?
don't believe, because I don't with controversy, put into controversy. I think the parliament is there. You may criticize the government, you may give your opinion, you may give the guidance to the ruling party. The ruling party will accommodate your opinion suggestion. This is not way. This is not proper way.
Okay.
When this
But
situation
are we not confusing 2 or 3 things
Hey
together?
man, this situation created.
Yeah.
Government priorities, the ruling party priorities change. Suppose you have said health and education, no doubt, people of Pakistan should get education and health facility on top priority. But when you pressurize government this way, then the priorities of government change. They have to show to people of Pakistan that we have delivered this and this. Suppose metro. Metro is very criticized every time. Why we found metro first? Because we want to show to people that we are delivering, we are doing such thing for you.
Right.
So I think the people, we will give manifesto. I asked my brother Limud Khan, okay, what is their manifesto? Their manifesto only criticized Nawaz Sharif and Zardari.
Yeah.
Throughout 5 years.
To be fair, whenever they come up with a manifesto, my problem is the manifestos of three major parties in Pakistan are becoming identical with every day. In 2008, maybe they were a bit different. In 2013, they became mostly similar. And now I think this time everything will be the same.
I think,
in
the future, election,
I will tell you.
When the democracy is established in its full swing on their footings, then the party will be able to give their manifesto, and they will give the priorities. The next coming 5 years, we will do such and we will do such.
But you cannot run.
I think you will agree with me
Niazi sir, with due respect, you cannot contest an election just on the basis of saying that you have been pushed out of power or you don't have the kind of power. You'll have to tell the voters that this is your program and you are going to deliver. And partially you have delivered.
Okay. When in election 2013, we announced that we will first economic reforms, and we will we will work against terrorism, and then load shedding, energy crisis. I think we have got a lot of work in these three fields.
Yeah.
We have pushed up the economy. Pakistan growth rate is more than 5%. Terrorism is around 90% terrorists are either killed or run away from this country. And the load shedding energy, we have put 10,000 megawatts in for the last 4.5 years.
But with every passing day, media keeps on bringing up the issue of load shedding. And certain channels are claiming that there has never been electricity in the country.
No. This will you agree with me that we have put 10,000 megawatts.
Okay.
Then for load shedding, to stop load shedding, there are many problems. This is distribution and transmission system. They will be, and the government priorities. Another point is that the government has made a plan. We will supply electricity to those people which are paying back.
Yeah, but right now the problem seems to be not with transmission, not with the generation, not with distribution, but with the cyclical debt. And that keeps on piling all the time.
There are sometimes nature does not support you. Suppose I think that we have made Tarbela 4 extension.
Yeah, but circular debt has repeatedly been pointed out that might be causing the problem.
We are producing electricity at the higher rates, and the hydro power is the most cheapest form. Tarbela 4 is 14, 30.
So we are going to talk about the programs as well, but let me come back to the hardcore.
I should complete.
Yeah.
Okay, I said that nature, sometimes nature does not support you. We have made Mangla, which has a capacity of 1430 megawatts.
Right.
But I asked when the Prime Minister went there, I was with the Prime Minister and they inaugurated that. I asked from the official that no, it start working. No, it will work in April, May. Why? Because we have no water.
Okay.
So
hydel is it has many moving parts, and that might be the reason. But we have to actually come back to the question of competing in the elections. And Rana Sahab, when do we expect the manifestos to be introduced? Right now, what we are seeing is there is part chest thumping, part victimhood on television screens. People are talking about everything but the programs. When you listen to People's Party, I'm not sure where it stands on so many issues, because one moment Asif Ali Zardari says one thing, and then his son says something else. Earlier, Ali Muhammad Khan just asked me why I think that manifestos are becoming identical, because the politics of left and right is gone. Now, more or less, all political parties behave in the same manner. So when do we expect the manifestos to be introduced?
I think it should be a matter of weeks. They should not delay it. In the past, we have also seen that there were hired writers who used to write manifesto for many political parties.
Okay.
I hope that
the same man writing more than one manifesto.
Unfortunately, that
doesn't happen.
Those kind of incidents did happen in the past.
Okay.
And
Can you identify an example?
It did happen.
Just give me a name.
It did.
Throw me a bone. Come on.
Because I remember in the previous two elections, there were many stories of this nature.
With all the conspiracy theories in the world.
I mean,
I know this is a fact. This is a fact. But again, now the situation, the situation hopefully is going to be different. But what we have heard from the Noon League, particularly Talal Chaudhary, he said we have just 2 point for the manifesto, and that is the respect, what he calls respect for vote, and to bring back Nawaz Sharif back in the power seat. I think
that's, with due respect, a rhetorical point.
But
when
that,
it comes
that
to
also reflects.
publishing a report or a manifesto or a program, you have to have a platform.
I agree with you, but that also reflects the mindset of the political parties. The very thought they are occupied with. PML-N, they will come back again with the kind of a manifesto which would reflect reinforcing their development.
Okay,
That is,
since you have brought up the issue of PML-N's manifesto, let me ask one very important thing: journalist perception. Who's going to influence the writing of manifesto? Maryam Nawaz or Shehbaz Sharif?
I think Shehbaz Sharif would have an important role, and I would say Ehsan Iqbal would have a very important role because he's the brain of the ruling party.
Okay.
I don't expect that Maryam Nawaz would have any important role in writing the manifesto.
Okay. Talal Chaudhary is more aligned to one aspect, right?
Talal Chaudhary basically is reflecting the dominant thought of the ruling party.
Okay.
You see, you cannot
ignore
the.
Let's be honest. There is a speculation that there are pro-confrontation, people, and there are people who believe in cooperating or working out a solution with this system, right? So the question was, who is going to have an influence on that manifesto? Are we going to see a very fiery manifesto where you take no prisoners? Or then you're talking about a reconciliatory tone where you focus more on development. I have two personal favorites that I keep on pushing every election. People don't seem to care that much now, the politicians. One is, of course, Kashmir, that we have been talking about for quite some time. It has to be an electoral issue. The second is jobs. Nobody is talking about job creation. Instead of job creation, they talk about everything. Every country is now talking about jobs. We are not talking about jobs. So I want to see your program, sir. How soon to expect it?
Well, the complete manifesto will, of course, be inaugurated before the general election, but I would like to emphasize your point, which I've been saying on many different forums regarding Kashmir, that if we really want to do something for Kashmir, first of all, we have to make it a vote gathering thing. Because in India, whenever there is election in India, anti-Pakistan rhetoric, it is something which gets them votes.
Yeah.
In Pakistan, I rarely see anti-India rhetoric getting us votes or Kashmir becoming a top 10 agenda item.
Yeah, but asking for freedom of Kashmir or finding more, levers to influence Kashmir issue is one thing. Talking against India is another. You get the nuance, right?
Of course, but Farooq Khan, I think that you can't detach India from the problems which they have created in Kashmir. Of course, Kashmir problem.
That is precisely the point. We want to detach Kashmir from India.
Problem is because of India. We want to detach it, of course, geographically. We want it to be the way it was being perceived by the founder of the nation.
But you're missing
As
one
far
very
as
crucial point. Job creation.
As far as the job creation thing is concerned,
their infrastructure development program creates
job
jobs
creation is
in 22 industries.
Job creation is directly proportional to few very important things. Number one is law and order. The second one is your GDP growth. The third one is the investment coming from abroad. And then you have to create an atmosphere which is very much accountable, where you don't have to palm the grease of people so that you get your jobs get done. For example, if you want to invite somebody from UK or US, you want them to get the investment to Pakistan so that we can create some jobs with them. The first thing which they ask from us is, where are the top politicians, where is their money? If you have a PM,
I mean, investor doesn't ask this kind of questions.
if you
They ask
have,
where to
if
spend
you
and
have a
whether
PM,
the investment will be
no,
secured.
no, Farooq Khan.
And
Farooq Khan,
remember,
there-
India is very corrupt.
Farooq Khan,
India is
there
very
was-
corrupt, but they invest
There
like
was a
mad
situation.
there.
There was a
Same is the case
situation.
with China.
There was a situation where
Stability and
our
security.
former Prime Minister, he was asking for investments, and expatriate Pakistanis questioned him that, are you as a PM of Pakistan taking your investment back to Pakistan? Why are you asking us?
They
that?
must be asking
The reason
because
is-
they must be aligned to another
the
political
reason
party.
for that,
Otherwise,
Farooq
these things.
Patafi, is that if I'm not particularly saying about Nawaz Sharif, it is about the ruling class.
My humble submission
The
is
people,
you have to
the
realize
people, the
Pakistan-
people who rule the country, if they don't have
Ali Mohammed
any
Khan
trust
sahab-
in the system,
It is a true only
Ali
for
Mohammed-
expatriate Pakistan.
Right, Ali Mohammed Khan sahab,
the second
I
thing-
get your point.
the second
And I'm
thing
not
which
for
we-
corruption.
The second thing which we did,
I'm not a great fan of corruption, but we have to talk about job creation in a country
if you are
where
willing,
you
if
actually
you are willing
claim
to
to speak
listen
for
to
the
the
youth.
answer of your question, you
Sir,
get the answer.
but you have to listen to the
We
question
had-
to answer.
We had a very limited space in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, we had created around 50,000 jobs only in education sector, all through merit.
Right.
That is one.
Now we are talking.
That is one thing which we have shown to them, that we have created around 50,000 jobs in education department, all through merit, through entry system, which they have not been able to do for the last 35, 40 years. They have ruled Punjab 3
I'm coming to
consecutive
you, sir,
terms.
for a conclusion.
Then coming to the health sector, we have created jobs there from doctors to the lower paramedic staff, and all of them on merit. Now the problem in Pakistan is you still get job creations even in
You
federal,
said merit,
but
right?
that is
I
on,
thought
that,
you were saying merit.
That is not on merit.
Okay.
That is only through
Okay,
palm
that
reasons
is important, but
and
my
through,
point is-
and through people who will just give you sifarish.
Okay. You have to come up with programs to create more jobs, because that is what is being discussed in India, America, China, elsewhere in the world. Somehow Pakistan doesn't talk about that. So very quickly, I'm told that we have to conclude the program. You conclude.
Patafi sahab, job creation should be priority. And I think when we only not education, I think we have given job to more than 1 lakh people in Punjab in health and education. I think when the CPEC will see when our leader has credibility, Nawaz Sharif, and the Chinese president when came to Pakistan, and when they did the agreement with Pakistan, he said that Mr. Nawaz Sharif, I am giving a gift to you.
Right.
How to
So
65.
in coming days, sir, we have to see your party not only coming up with the new programs, but also publishing this data,
I
so
think-
that we can talk about that as well.
Exactly.
But
I
right
think
now,
where
I'm
CPEC
told that we have to conclude the program, sir.
After in end time, I think when the industry, there will be industry in Pakistan, then there will be job creation, people will be able
Absolutely.
to-
And we can multitask. We don't have to do either this or that. At one time, we can do all of them. On that note, Ghous Mohammad Khan Niazi Sahab, Senator PML-N, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Javed Rana Sahab, always a pleasure having you in the show, a senior journalist. And Ali Mohammad Khan Sahab, one of the earliest participants of this program, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, leader and MNA of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Thank you very much, sir, for your time as well. Viewers, you have listened to our participants. When you talk about political machinations and when you talk about exodus, that we see usually in the electoral season, and now we are approaching it, we are seeing more actions. But whether to actually color it through any conspiracy theory or not, I'm not sure about that at this moment. Because in Pakistan, like any democracy, we have too many factors at play right now. And democracies usually are supposed to be messy, and that is what we are seeing. But secondly, the more important thing is democracy is important if it looks at the service delivery and the quality of governance. And right now, every political party is talking about other things that is usually peripheral to politics. They are usually not talking about the deliverables. Let us hope in coming days we see the political programs, and we also see the kind of pledges that we want to see in coming days. This was today's program. Thank you very much for watching us. Take care.